How you doing, gamers and Jolly Green Giants? Thank you guys very much for checking out this video today. I appreciate it a lot. Today we're going to be checking out Killjoy's best setups here on the Bind map in Valorant. These are going to be some of the best passive, aggressive, and overall just best setups you can have for her alarm bot, for her grenades, and for her turret. Now let's go ahead and check out some of these setups, and our first setups are going to be starting here on B site. Starting out with a huge B hookah setup right here, we're going to want to go ahead and set up a grenade right here in this diamond. Moi. We're going to want to set up our alarm bot right here in this little crux of the 2 points, slightly above the rug. We're not going to want to put it anywhere towards here, because if they shoot it, they'll most likely end up backing up and not wanting to push further in, so they will not be targeted by your grenades. Second grenade is going to go ahead and place itself in this little crux right here, to the little tiny left of Mr. Hanky Spanky right here. And then from there, you're going to want to go ahead and take your turret, flop it right there, back away from Hookah. If you want to play this a little bit more aggressively, you could decide to stand up on the box of sight, take a little bit more of an aggressive peek, maybe stand close over here, try to get a few wall bangs if you could. Second you see your alarm bot go off, you pop those two, wait for them to come in, take a peek at what they're doing. Now passively, this one is played a bit more like this. If you want to go ahead and also swap up your turret position, you can go ahead and put it on the heady right here, pop it up right there, wait for your alarm bot to go off again, pop those grenades, take a couple shots, wait for your team to push in. This is what the setup would look like from the enemy's position, coming in, trying to be aware. If the turret's right there, they'll get shot by that. They may potentially back up depending on how passive or aggressive that team is. So if you want to go ahead and put it on that heady for a little bit of a more confirmed knowing of where they are, that is up to your pierogies. From there, you just want to make sure that you see the alarm bot go off. You see the alarm bot go off. Pop your swarm grenades. Not a lot of room for them to go. They either have to back up, or depending on how far they are into Hookah and how many there are, they have no choice but to go ahead and push all the way in, giving you a prime opportunity for some steak. Secondary Hookah setup here for B. We're going to want to go ahead and set up our turret right here in the corner of elbow. We're going to want to set up one granada right over here in this little crux. From there, alarm bot, stash away in the sand like a crab. Second grenade, you're going to want to go ahead and situate right there. So there, there, for reference. And then if you are the enemy pushing into this, let's say you're being a bit aggressive, let's say you're wanting to push out, let's say you're wanting to jump, alarm bot triggers, off, turret off, they have to focus on the turret. You could be there, you could be there, you could be there, you could be there. There's just a lot of angles for the enemy to get shot from, and it gives you a lot of good opportunities for you and your teammates to have a really, really good hold. A key note to always be aware of with Killjoy as well when it comes to your grenades is that you're always going to want to make sure that you have the most specific setups for them depending on the enemies that you are facing. And what I mean by that is if you are doing the same grenades over and over and over again, even if they work the first few times, depending on what rank you're in, even at the really, really low ranks, people are eventually going to notice, and so they're going to, and if you're at a rank that they're not noticing, you're going to use that and then get to a rank where they're going to notice, and then they're going to destroy them, and you're not going to be much of use. So a key point of all of this is to be able to make sure that you are versatile in changing up your grenade positions, as well as being able to keep them hidden and controlling a portion of the site or map that you are needing to control. So let's say you're holding B with one of your teammates and they end up getting shot and all the enemy team starts pushing in like a kit and caboodle getting ready for a pizza sundae. Or let's say you're on A and your team has just lost the will to live and they're waving around like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. If any of those scenarios come up against you and you're going against a retake, this is something that will be very, very helpful to do if you either set this up beforehand or know that you are not going to be on site before the bomb is planted. So knowing that, you're going to want to make sure that you set up a little egg right here above the holding sign in the little tube. You're going to want to go ahead and give it a little right click chuck right there. I set up a 1 because I thought I was going to mess it up, but I didn't. Let's go. So you're going to want to make sure that it is just right there. It is a very wonderful hidden. Granted, I'm almost positive this is wall bangable. Yeah, they can shoot it if they, again, that comes with the versatility in terms of changing up your setup. So you can use this a couple times, but then the enemy team will start to know and you'll have to swap it up. Maybe do the other setup, maybe do something else in Hookah, maybe do something else long. That'll be entirely up to the player and entirely up to you in order to change it up with the things that you know, the things that you have. If you want to throw all your util on this site for a retake, second grenade right here, thrown around in the sand. Bot. Same place as the other setup right there. You can hold your turret for after. You can either put it right here to distract them. You can use it for the head angle as always. That's a decent default. But these are the decent ones for you to have for everything else. So you start to hear your alarm bot, or let's say they shot that out and you start to hear the plant. You go ahead and pop the swarm grenade. As you can see, it's all over the site. It's all over the top. It's all over the bottom. From the enemy's point of view, if they're going to plant anywhere and this is popped, they have nowhere to go. They can't stand on the site. They have to go away. They have to go off of it. That gives you and whoever's left on your team ample amounts of time to come in and try to assess the situation, try to get the take back. Swarble yordling our way over to the A site of Bind. Over here, we're going to want to start our setup here, making sure we get lamps on down lock. This is a very, very crucial key part of the site. We're going to want to make sure that there is nothing that they can do in this site. We will have a tea time dinner party in this site, and they won't have shit to do with it. They will not be invited. Alarm bot, you're going to want to go ahead and put in between this door right here. Just a little like... First grenade, you're going to want to go ahead and line it up with this rug. Make sure you're one above that. There. Second grenade. Follow the line. Go to the tip of that onion. Bam. Right there. Second grenade. So if the enemy decides to push on this and they start moving fast, the alarm bot goes off, you pop this one, you pop that one. There is literally zero space for them to be. They have nowhere to go. You, on the other hand, can position yourself right around here, wait for your drone to pop off, wait for your grenades to go off, then you go ahead and peek. Make sure you clear all corners. Get all the areas. Now when it comes to the turret, that is a little bit more up to the player. I like to essentially either put it right here if you want to get just a little bit more aggressive with maybe pushing with the turret, running away, then setting off your grenades, doing something like that if you have the time and the speed. If you want to go ahead and put it somewhere right around here, just so you can maybe peek along with the turret, maybe have it peek first and then peek along with it. Put it over on tank for some info towards there, or if you want to go ahead and put it on towards this top big green box, you can go ahead and do that. That way you can see if anyone is coming for you through bath if you are just completely focused on lamps. This setup to me gives you one of the most secure lockdowns on this site as you possibly can, short of getting KO'd knife or essentially blasted out your ass by a bullet. This is very, very well set up site. It'll allow you to control the main force of the push, all while making sure your turret is keeping an eye on the other side of it. And from there, it's just making sure that you hit your shots and position yourself in a way to where you can get the kill. If the enemy is hard pushing showers and you want to go ahead and set up something towards showers, this is going to be our setup here. You're going to want to go ahead and set your alarm bot in this little corner next to this little box man. Grenade right next to him on plank from Ed and Eddie. We're going to go ahead and place our turret right here on the second box right there. Gives you a good peek of showers, waits for them to push out, gives you a good sign of where it is compared to your bot as well. They are both peeking at around the same time, so it'll make sure that no one is peeking first and that you get a good assertion of where the enemy is. Alternatively, a secondary turret position could be right over here. You can then go ahead and place yourself either right over by green box, which is a bit of a risky move right here because there are two positions you could get shot from, but it does warrant you a bit more aggressiveness and a bit more of a jump on the enemy because they won't understand why you're standing there. But the more better area to go would be right around here, making sure you still have your turret in sight, but making sure you are not being seen by the enemy. Wait for your turret to pop off. Pop your grenade, that should be right there. Wait for the drone to go off. Arby's. And then your second grenade is going to be a little bit of a decision depending on how the enemy team is playing. If they are pushing completely through showers and they push onto site and they Viper ult or something like that and they start to plant, shower right here, then you are going to want to go ahead and set this one off. From the enemy's point of view, if they are all pushing showers and you start to see them push in, you start to see your alarm bot go off. You pop that. They either have to push right here, which is an easy peek there, or there, or they have to go ahead and push back, giving your team ample time to throw a smoke or do anything they can to delay the push onto site from showers. Now, if they manage to make it onto the site and they start to plant, you can hear that. You're going to want to go ahead and just set that one off. Gets the entirety of this box right here. If they are in a Viper ult, you can just go ahead and spray through it and maybe get a shot off in the head. Or it'll just give you more time to go ahead and think of a way to push onto the site. In another scenario, there could be 2, maybe 3 people pushing through showers, which is still a very good way to have that bot and that grenade there. But let's say there is a Sage and someone else pushing through a short, and they're wanting to go ahead and wall here, or they're wanting to go ahead and wall here, or do something like that. Or maybe they're faking the shower push or anything like that. Let's say they start to wall this and plant on tank. You're going to want to go ahead and throw your second grenade.
Placing swarm grenade.
Place your second grenade on top of tank right here. Let's say they start to push in through short right there. You wait for them to plant. You hear the plant. Pop your grenade. They push off. You can get a shot there. You can get a shot there. You could even be heaven. Peek from short. Peek from showers. Set that one off. You see the alarm bot go off. There's one hiding there. There's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity here for you to get a lot of good peeks from a lot of different positions, and it is all based on where you are. And lastly, our final setup is going to be a retake onto A. We're going to want to go ahead and make sure we have a granada like there on tank again, and then our second one in the little crevice of the box right here. Pushing back onto the site right here, you start to hear them plant. You go ahead and pop one, pop the other. Gets a wonderful thing right there. Gets a wonderful amount of space right there. If you want to secondarily maybe just keep all your grenades on site if they're all sort of jumbled together. Second grenade right there instead of behind the box. They start to plant. Boop, boop, boop.
Swarm grenade out. Swarm grenade out.
Makes them back off a ton. Our little turret buddy friend right there on the double green boxes as well. And this setup is very, very wonderful for a retake. It doesn't really give them a lot of time to think. If the time is running short, if there's maybe 4 seconds left and they have to plant, but you don't give them enough time because your turret sets them off, or your grenades pull them off, or anything like that, it gives you such ample opportunity to clutch up with both retake setups at A and B. These are both setups that are made with the thought of using your ult in mind. So if you have your ultimate as Killjoy, don't be afraid to use it. Be aware of where you are, be aware of where your team is, if you have any teammates left, and just be sure to use it in a way that will impact the team in a positive way rather than a negative way. That is going to go ahead and be the end of the video here. We have shown you some wonderful, wonderful setups here for Bind on A and B site for Killjoy. And I want to thank you guys very, very much for checking out the video. If you've stuck around this long, I appreciate it a lot, and you've done a lot to support me already. But if you want to do a little bit more, go ahead and like the video or post a comment. Let me know what your favorite setup was. Let me know if I missed on one of your favorite setups. Let me know if you think there's a way I can improve some of my setups. Let me know if there are any new agents that y'all want me to try out. And I will be sure to see you guys on the next video.